All right, we are back for the Friday edition of our Sports Splash on ABS TV. A very good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us on the sports show. It's the last one for the weekday. I am Ike Nwokede on the show. Thank you for being here. On the headlines, let's tell you that poor management culture destroying football pitch, says facility expert Money Michelle, that's ABS. We'll tell you that one feed on each Unity Cup competition has entered the semi-final stage. Also, Sabalenka voted WTA Player of the Year in tennis. And we'll tell you that Saudi Arabia will be hosting the World Cup in 2034. We'll have the details of that on Sports Splash on ABS TV. Now, let's begin with our first story. Our first story is from the grassroots sports, a grassroots scene. Let's tell you that Michael FC, Olive Charles FA, that's Olive Charles Football Academy, and Ozala FA, and equally Success FC have booked their tickets to the semi-finals of the ongoing Onitsha ex-footballers in diaspora 1 feet under 17 Championship Cup. The semi-final clashes will be played on Saturday, the 14th of December 2024 at the Godwin Achebe Stadium, Fege, Onitsha, which will see Olive Charles FA trading tackles with Success FC for a place in the grand finale by 2 p.m., while the second semi-final clash between Michael FA versus Ozala FA will be played by 4 p.m. on the same day. To get to this stage, Olive Charles FA topped the Group A with a total of 9 points and plus 7 goal difference, having won all their group games, while Ozala Football Academy finished second on the log with 6 points and plus 2 goal difference ahead of All Stars FC and Okabue FC, who finished third and bottom of the table respectively. Michael FA, on the other hand, topped Group B with 7 points and plus 10 goal difference ahead of Success FC, who finished second on the log with 4 points from 3 matches and a goal difference of plus 2. Asterisk FA and Pages FC were shown the exit doors. The winner of the 2 semi-final matches will book their places in the finals of the competition scheduled to hold on Sunday, 7th of January 2024 at the Godwin Achebe Stadium, Fege, Onitsha. This season will see the winners smile home with a sum of 1 million naira, while the second, third, and fourth place teams will each go home with a sum of 500,000 naira, 300,000 naira, and 100,000 naira respectively. We here and the third edition of the 2024 Onitsha Unity Cup Under 17 Championship, which kicked off on Wednesday, November 27, 2024 at the Godwin Achebe Stadium, Onitsha, is being bankrolled by Onitsha ex-footballers in diaspora known as One Feed. So the semi-final matches are coming up. Watch out for Olive Charles FA taking on Success FC. That match is by 2 p.m. on Saturday, and then we'll have Michael FA taking on Ozala FA, and that's the second semi-final match at the ongoing Onitsha Unity Cup competition. We'll be watching out for that on Monday edition of Sports Splash. We'll tell you the teams that have coasted into the finals of the ongoing competition. Well, moving away from that, let's talk about stadium construction in Nigeria. Foremost facility expert ABS, Chief ABS, fondly known as Money Michelle, believes Nigerian football can rebound if more attention is paid to maintaining football pitches across the country. For now, there is a dearth of standard playing surfaces in the country, which only got to Abio Stadium, otherwise known as the Nest of Champions, certified fit by both CAF and FIFA to hold international matches. But speaking to the media, a football show, on a football show, reckon that it's about that more attention is paid to maintaining of football pitches. There is no doubt we have facilities in Nigeria, but our major problem is maintenance, stated Ebi, who constructed the impressive pitches of the Mobolaji Johnson Arena Stadium, as well as that of Remo Sports Stadium in Ikene. Said, of course, I will have the stadiums, but we always forget that it is not enough to have these facilities if we don't maintain them. The former Bayelsa State Sports Commissioner harped on proper maintenance of the pitches, adding there is a distinct difference between stadium builders and groundsmen. Maintenance is our biggest problem, stated Ebiawe. We always forget that the most important part of the stadium is the pitch. You can build a stadium with over 50 million US dollars, but if the pitch is bad, nobody is going to use your facilities. He stated facilities owners should know that guys that build the facilities and guys that construct the pitches are two different people. Were highlighted. Personally, I feel if we can work around our maintenance culture, there will be improvement for our football, concluded the facility expert ABL. We're talking about stadium maintenance in Nigeria, and of course ABL is known for what he in terms of a stadium construction. Told you that he was the one that did the Remo Stadium in Ikene. He also did the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos, and of course of recent we heard about the Akberaku Stadium in Makurdi. He's also giving that stadium a facelift, and he was also involved somehow in the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. So vastly experienced. Talking about ABL, we're talking about stadium construction in Nigeria. And now let's talk about the National Sports Commission. NSC, as fondly called, they have activated that they adopt an athlete training grant initiative with its recipient being Nigerian track and field star Esther Brume, following her recent involvement in a car accident. Speaking at an event to mark the partnership with Confetti Assets Limited, the NSC chairman Malam Shehu Diko commended the outfit for its generous support and reiterated the vision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to drive sports development in Nigeria through a sustainable public-private partnership. That's the PPP model. We must create a system that does not solely depend on government funding, but rather leverages private sector participations to achieve a thriving sports economy. Shehu Diko stated on his part, the Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukalo Olapade, emphasized the Commission's commitment to athlete welfare and development. While we were strategizing, something unfortunate happened to Esther Brume. He stated she was involved in a ghastly motor accident, but to God be the glory, her life was spared. Olapade stated, when we speak or when we spoke, according to him, I asked her what I could tell the chairman to do for her immediately. She made me proud when she said, all I need right now is whatever the commission can give me as a training grant to help me buy a small vehicle so that I can continue my training, because I want to win the world championship in September next year. That touched me deeply. Olopade stated. The DG explained that the commission has activated an innovative approach to raise funds for athletes development, elite sports, and grassroots initiatives, adding Confetti Assets Limited and FACE. We are the first to support its initiative. The DG described the moment as symbolic, as it marked the official rollout of the Adopt the Athlete initiative. That's under the new NSC with Brume as its first beneficiary. On his part, the chairman of Confetti Assets Limited, Benjamin Jonathan Goka, expressed his commitment to the initiative, pledging continued support for Nigeria's sports sector. The Adopt the Athlete initiative aimed at to provide financial support for Nigerian athletes training and development, ensuring they have the resources needed to compete at the highest levels of global sports. With the backing of strategic partners like Confetti Asset Limited, the initiative is expected to significantly impact the careers of elite and grassroots athletes alike. And Esther Brume is a typical example of those that will enjoy the Adopt the Athlete initiative. This is a good one for the National Sports Commission under the leadership of Shehu Diko and the Director General Bukola Olapade. And moving away from that, let's talk about Nigeria players abroad. Let's tell you that Nigeria International Maduka Okoye, goalkeeper, has successfully undergone a surgery to repair a wrist injury. The towering goalkeeper sustained the injury during the Udinese Calcio's Italian Serie A match against Genoa, and that was last Sunday. The Little Zebras have since issued the following statement indicating that Okoye underwent surgery to repair a damage to the scapholunate ligament on his his right wrist. And Maduka Okoye underwent surgery to repair the injury to the scapholunate ligament of his right wrist. Udinese statement read, and that was day before yesterday. The surgical operation performed by Dr. Doris Pegoli at the La Madonna Clinic in Milan was a complete success. The footballer will begin rehabilitation in the coming weeks. He said Okoye was between the sticks as Nigeria wrapped up the year 2024 with a 2-1 defeat to Rwanda in the 2025 AFCON qualifier, and that was played on the 18th of November. It remains to be seen whether the 25-year-old will recover in time before Nigeria's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Zimbabwe and Rwanda built for the month of March, and that's in the new year 2025. Let's watch out, and we wish Maduka Okoye a quick recovery as we expect him in between the sticks for the Super Eagles for the AFCON qualifiers and equally the World Cup qualifiers. And now to the African scene. Kenya is committed to co-hosting the 2024 African Nations Championship next year, despite concerns about its preparedness for the competition, which is expected to kickstart on the 1st of February. The country is due to provide two venues, the Nyayo National Stadium and Kasarani Stadium, for what is scheduled to be a 19-team tournament hosted by East African neighbors Tanzania and Uganda. Reports in local media suggest that Kenya is at risk of losing hosting rights following an inspection of facilities last month, but the Confederation of African Football official told the media there had been no such a discussion. It will be the first time three countries jointly host a tournament reserved for players who feature in their national domestic leagues across the continent. The second-tier competition is considered as a dress rehearsal for Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda before the trial become the first three-way host of the African Nations Cup coming up in 2024. The right to host next year's CHAN were awarded in December 2023, and at the time, Kenya did not have any stadiums approved by CAF to host international matches, making the road to hosting steeper, but promised to have two venues ready for the tournament. In comparison, Tanzania already had a stadium which fulfilled the CAF's criteria, while the venue Uganda has earmarked for China was approved this year. So we'll be watching out. It's a big one for them. Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda hosting the CHAN. Let's see what they will be able to put up for this one. And still on the African scene, let's tell you that Guinea midfielder Naby Keita will leave Werder Bremen to join Hungarian club Ferencváros on loan in the January transfer window. The 29-year-old has not played for Bremen since being suspended in the month of April after refusing to travel with the German team for a game at Bayer Leverkusen. We are pleased to have found a solution together with Naby and his agent, said Clemens Fries, Werder Bremen's managing director, when he talked to the media. For us, it was clear that Naby would not play for Werder Bremen again. As such, the loan deal is the right move both for us and for him. We wish Naby all the best in Hungary. Keita spent 5 seasons at Liverpool and helped the Reds win the Champions League, Premier League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and Club World Cup. He left them to join Werder Bremen on a free transfer in June 2023, but made only 5 league appearances for the Bundesliga club, which includes just one start. Ferencváros said the deal for Keita included an option to buy. So let's see if Naby Keita, when he goes to Hungary, I doubt if he will stay there for long, will sign for them on a permanent deal. But for now, there is a solution for him to continue to play, and that is to play for that club in Hungary, Ferencváros, until the end of the season. You're watching Sports Splash on ABS TV. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll tell you about Max Verstappen in Formula One. We'll also talk about Sabalenka and her recent defeat, and then we'll tell you about Saudi Arabia, the latest news coming from the country, and the league fixtures across Western Europe. And that's coming up on the second part of the show if you stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It is Sports Splash on ABS TV, the Friday edition. In the first half, I will told you about the Onitsha Unity Cup competition, how 4 teams have gotten to the semi-finals: Michael's FC, Success FC, and Ozala FA, that's Ozala Football Academy, and Olive Charles Football Academy, through to the semi-finals of the championship. The finals coming up on the 7th of January. We equally told you that AB Elwe has lamented the impact of poor pitches on sports performance for athletes and the end users in Nigeria. Also, we equally told you that, yes, we told you about the Adopt an Athlete program being started by the NSC, with Ese Brume being the first recipient of that one. We told you also that Maduka Okoye, the Super Eagles goalkeeper, has gone under the knife and he's recovering and should be ready to feature for the Super Eagles in the World Cup qualifier coming up next year, and that's in March 2025. And also on the show, we told you that Nabil Keita has signed on a loan deal to move to Hungarian club. That's Ferencváros, confirmed by his parent club, Werder Bremen. Let's move on the show. In Formula One, that's motorsports. Max Verstappen will do an activity with junior competitors in Rwanda after swearing in a news conference at the Singapore Grand Prix. We hear the world champion was ordered to complete some work of a public interest for the transgression, a punishment he described as ridiculous at the time. And governing body, the FIA, said after the season closing Abu Dhabi Grand Prix that Verstappen's duty would coincide with its prize given in the African country's capital next week, and the top 3 drivers in the Formula One World Championship are required by regulation to attend the end of the season FIA prize giving ceremony, and Verstappen's punishment has been tagged on to the mandatory trip. A statement said, while in Kigali, Verstappen will undertake some work with a junior competitor as part of the grassroots development program organized by the Rwanda Automobile Club RAC. Verstappen's penalty, along with a fine for Ferrari's Charles Leclerc for a similar offense at the Mexico City Grand Prix, led the Grand Prix Drivers Association to publish an open letter asking the FIA to treat them like adults. And the letter also criticized the FIA president Mohammed Ben Sulayem, who has caused a widespread dismay in Formula One as his actions this year, for his tone and language when addressing the topic. And now, moving away from that, let's talk about athletics. In athletics, Australian teenage sensation Goots has entered the record books by becoming the fastest 16-year-old in history of the 200 meters. He ran the distance in 20.04 seconds during the Australian Schools Championships in Brisbane, and that was on last Saturday, breaking the national record set by Peter Norman when he won a silver at the 1968 Olympics. And Goots time is the fastest ever by a 16-year-old external land, and the second fastest by an athlete under the age of 18, behind Arion Nitin's 19.84 as a 17-year-old, and that was in 2021. Goods, who turned 17 later this is expected to turn 17 later this month, ran at the 4th fastest 100 meters by an Australian with a time time of 10.04. He was last week, and a 6'2" good speed and running style has earned him comparisons with a Jamaican legend Usain Bolt. Australian broadcaster said that Good will travel to the United States next month to train with Olympic 100 meters champion Noah Lyles and the son of the migrants for war-torn South Sudan. Good lives in the Brisbane suburb of Ipswich, and the 2032 Olympics will be held in the Australian city when Good will be 24 by then, and we hope he will be part of that Olympics in that land. And let's talk about what's happening in the world of tennis. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka has been voted the WTA Player of the Year after securing 4 titles in 2024. The Belarusian retained the Australian Open that was in the month of January before winning the US Open in the month of September. Her third Grand Slam singles triumph. The 26-year-old also secured victories at the Cincinnati Open in August and the Wuhan Open in October, becoming the first woman to win the event 3 times. In October, she became the world number 1, ending Iga Swiatek's 11th month stay at the summit. That was despite missing Wimbledon with injury, while Sabalenka also opted out of Olympics in August to prioritize her health. She finished the season with a 56-14 win-loss record, 56 wins and 14 losses. And it is the first time Sabalenka has been named a Player of the Year, with Swiatek triumphing in 2022 and 2023. And the winners are voted by international tennis media will hear. And lastly, from the world of tennis, Jack Draper has cancelled his planned training week with Carlos Alcaraz because of a little bit of a niggle in his hip. I will hear the British number 1 was due in Spain to train with the Wimbledon and French Open champion next week, but it limited to gym work at the moment. And Draper is in the Great Britain team, which will contest the United Cup from the 27th of December, but it is not sure, or it is not yet sure whether he will be fit to play in that one. The Australian Open starts in Melbourne, and that's on 12th January, and the match coming up, or the competition coming up, is a dress rehearsal for that competition. And Draper says that this injury is different to the hip injury that troubled him at the start of 2023, but it comes at an irritating time for the 22-year-old. He has risen to 15 in the world after winning the ATP titles in Stuttgart and Vienna, and shown much greater resistance to injury. This year, the U.S. Open semi-finalist was speaking at a memory walk in aid of the Alzheimer's Society in West London, and Draper is an ambassador for charity and has spoken movingly about the impact the disease has had on his grandmother. And now, in the world of football, before we go on the show, the 2034 Men's Football World Cup will be held in Saudi Arabia, while Spain, Portugal, and Morocco will be joint hosts for the 2030 tournament. World governing body FIFA has confirmed 3 matches in the 2030 tournament will also be held in Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay to mark 100 years of the competition. The host for both World Cups were confirmed at Wednesday's extraordinary FIFA Congress meeting following a vote. All 211 of FIFA member nations were represented at the meeting over a video link, and the host for both tournaments and of the 2030 centenary celebrations were confirmed. That was via 2 separate votes. The first selected Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina as the centenary host, and the second confirmed 3 hosts for 2030, as well as Saudi Arabia being awarded the 2034 tournament. Nations gave their votes by acclamation, clapping in front of their cameras via the video links. In all three decisions, just one voting option was available. And period 2, the acclamation, FIFA's Secretary General Matthias Grafstrom said all 211 member associations have effectively cast their votes. Period 2, the Congress and the English Football Association showed its support for the bids, which were also backed by the Scottish and Welsh FAs, after saying he received the assurances that all fans will be safe and welcome at the Saudi Arabia World Cup. So I'll be watching out for that. You saw what looks like their own mascot for that World Cup, as you can see on the screen. So let's see what Saudi Arabia will be putting up in 2034. So 2034 World Cup confirmed that to be hosted by Saudi Arabia. And now time for us to check out the fixtures of league matches in Europe this weekend. In France, Toulouse is expected to take on Saint-Etienne today, and Marseille is at home to Lille, and Auxerre will host Lens. AS Monaco is on the road to Reims. Montpellier will travel, or Montpellier is at home to Nice. Nantes will travel to Brest, and will have Le Havre taking on Strasbourg, and Rennes will welcome Angers. PSG will take on Lyon, and that's for the star match in the French Ligue this weekend. PSG playing Lyon. Watch out for that one. It's happening at the Parc des Princes Stadium in Germany. This Friday, Freiburg will take on Wolfsburg. In other fixtures, Augsburg is at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Borussia Mönchengladbach will welcome new team hosting Kiel. Mainz will play Bayern Munich. It is Union Berlin at home to VfL Bochum. St. Pauli will take on Werder Bremen. FC Heidenheim will take on VfB Stuttgart. Borussia Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park will play Hoffenheim. Watch out for Leipzig taking on Eintracht Frankfurt. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back again, we'll wrap up by telling you the fixtures of matches in Italy, Spain, and the Premier League in England. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back again to Sports Splash on the concluding part of it as we're on the home stretch. And of course, I've already served you fixtures of league matches in France, and the German Bundesliga in France is called the Ligue 1. In Germany is called the Bundesliga. Let's go to the Serie A in Italy. Empoli will today take on Torino. In other fixtures are for this weekend, Cagliari is at home to Atalanta. Udinese is at home to Napoli. Juventus will welcome Venezia at the Stadium della Pai in Turin. Watch out for Lecce playing Monza. Fiorentina is on the road to Bologna. Parma will host Hellas Verona. Como will take on AS Roma. AC Milan will play Genoa. Lazio at the Stadio Olimpico will welcome Inter Milan. In Spain, the La Liga, Real Valladolid is at home to Valencia. Espanyol will welcome Osasuna. Real Mallorca will play Girona. Real Mallorca, Girona. Sevilla at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan will host Celta Vigo. Rayo Vallecano will take on Real Madrid. Deportivo Alaves will welcome Athletic Club. Real Sociedad is at home to Las Palmas. Watch out for Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, playing at the El Madrigal. They will play Real Betis. Barcelona will host Leganes, and Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium will host Getafe. In England, Premier League actions, Arsenal will host Everton. Liverpool at home to Fulham. Newcastle United will take on Leicester City. Is Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Ipswich Town at the Molineux. Nottingham Forest will host Aston Villa. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Crystal Palace. Manchester City taking on Manchester United. Star match for the weekend. Chelsea at home to Brentford. Southampton will host Tottenham Hotspur at the St. Mary's, and at the Vitality Stadium is Bournemouth expected to take on West Ham United to conclude the match, the last match day in England. And on Monday, we'll be serving you all the results of the matches from the Premier League. That's the show for the week. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being with ABS Monday down to Friday, talking sports. The show will take a break and return again on Monday for another episode. Until then, have a lovely weekend and remember to keep sporting. Bye-bye now.